Right. So last time um, we found out that Faye Victus, Hadrian's father, if you will, was responsible for the attacks in New Atlantis. And he basically gave us his justification, which we didn't agree with, and we told him that this will probably be our last meeting with him because he seems to have gone slightly insane from spending so much time locked away in the subsection 7. So now we need to go report to the cabinet, I believe.
I am a better ally.
See, he says that he's a better ally, but then he unleashed terramorphs on 2 planets. One extremely popular.
Authorized personnel only.
So we can't go for that. Let's tell Sarah we're
Good
gonna
luck.
get going.
Been a long time. Sounds good?
And yeah, we need to tell the cabinet what we know. Oh, but first let's talk to Hadrian Percival, because why not?
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks? Do what you have to. We'll be here.
Good. Real curious to know what you turned up. Going to be a hell of a meeting up there. Of that, I have no doubt. Real curious to know what you turned up. Good news on our end. I'll let Hadrian give you the details.
So, did you turn up anything on the attacks? Any idea who might have been involved?
That seems unlikely, considering he's been dust for about 20 years.
I'm sure the captain just misspoke. Right? If you said my father was still alive and using terramorphs as weapons, I might think it's time for a psych eval. So we just misheard you, right? No, that's impossible. He's gone. My father is dead.
That's quite the revelation.
Certainly putting it mildly.
Alive. Faye Victus is alive? How did you find him? Not important? My father is alive. I need you to tell me right now how you found that information. Wait. You knew he was alive and didn't tell us? You were sworn to... You... You swore. You were just doing your duty, weren't you? Yeah, I guess I, of all people, should know what a burden that can be. Doesn't mean I'm not mad. But I guess you letting us know late is preferable to never. Now at least we can inform the cabinet and let them deal with him. I honestly don't know. If it were me, I'd make damn sure he never spoke to another human being again. But I may be a bit less than impartial. But for the wanton murder of civilians, I doubt anything's off the table. Exactly. The people he harmed deserve justice. But now I guess we've got our answer. Nothing left to do but put it all in front of the cabinet. Any last things we needed to discuss? This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs. It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him. Asylees aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the Terramorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Asylees, we're at least dealing with known risks. They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Asylees seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch them. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti. Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math, and a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in, see if they have a preference. And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true? This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned?
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays?
All right. but make. So, was Reginald Orlays responsible for these attacks?
Well, ma'am, it seems your report is incorrect. Francois Sanon was responsible for the attacks.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now that's quite the accusation your group is leveling. Seeing as Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up? I can think of numerous reasons why someone, after learning Victus is still alive, might want to correct that. So I'm not going to accept such a stunning claim without proof.
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Victus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. That's truly disconcerting to hear. But cutting off Victus's contact with the outside world is likely to be just the beginning of his punishment. That will be up to the cabinet to decide. But I don't appreciate our mercy being taken advantage of. It's well past due. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased. We're already discussing the elimination of one species, Captain. Explain to me why you wish to eliminate another. I'm not sure I like what you're suggesting. The UC's only plan is to protect lives. Though, I won't discount that perhaps your proposal could get us closer to that goal. So, explain to me your thinking in destroying the plant.
Yes, absolutely. The UC has to be as transparent as possible from now on. Otherwise, we could be risking a second colony war.
That is an idea with some merit to it. decrease the likelihood of anything like this occurring again, and further relations between our two factions.
Two birds with a single stone. Very well. We'll include the collective in the removal process. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the Captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter. I suppose we can take a brief recess. Return when you're ready. Captain, have you had sufficient time to clarify your opinion? Please, ask. The responsibilities will be spread across multiple branches of the UC. Research and day-to-day administration will be handled by a new group under the Science Division. All diplomatic concerns and coordination will fall to Chief Yassine and Interstellar Affairs. But most of the actual on-the-ground work, that'll be handled by the Vanguard. This won't work without them.
Exactly right, ma'am. The Interstellar Affairs Office has already begun reaching out to worlds throughout the settled systems, informing them of the risks we're all facing, and that the UC has a plan to prevent what happened on New Atlantis from happening elsewhere. Thus far, the response has been, on the whole, positive. Fear of sudden attacks has proven a strong motivating factor, and we expect to encounter some intransigence, but our office has plenty of carrots and sticks to ensure the program's widespread adoption.
Infinitesimally low.
But not zero.
The chance of a starship landing on you as you sit here isn't zero, yet you still attended. Personally, my fear isn't mutation, but Terramorphs developing a resistance. But that's something our group can continue to address if we decide to take this approach, as I believe we should. I can feel this one. While intimidating creatures, certainly, Aseles are docile and less provoked. They're honestly closer to oversized mobile scanners than deadly predators. The concern is that, while all proposed methods will be long-term efforts, the Aseles are the slowest. Slow to breed, slow to deploy. We do everything we could to accelerate that process, including mustering some of our mothballed cloning technologies. But if we do elect to use this method, we'll be doing things at the pace of a megafauna, which is not an expedient one.
Very well. Then did you have a preference on the method we should deploy? I believe we have a responsibility to do something, yes. Heavens forbid, years from now, someone reopens the Pandora's box that Vivictus discovered. It falls to us to enact every measure required to ensure that day never comes.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
Here's hoping they'll be kept on a short leash.
That, madam, is most certainly the plan.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the Captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive. Then I expect you'll be quite pleased. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sanan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
And as a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you, Captain, will have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
You're carrying too many odds and ends. Time to let something go.
Captain, I guess we've got our assignments. I just wanted to say, I could have never guessed where all this was going to lead. But now, knowing what I do, that my father truly is the monster I always thought he was. Well, I've just spent a lot of my life in pursuit of the truth. So, you bringing it straight to me, it just means a lot. Just glad it was me. You know, I was thinking, while we were there on the podium, if I wanted to try and see him again. After all, it could be my last chance. But I knew the answer before I even finished the thought. I didn't. Because confronting him, what would I gain from that? From letting him remind me I can never truly be rid of him? Nothing. Now, all I'd be doing is acknowledging that he still has some sway over my life. And while I can't do anything about his role in my past, I'm not about to let him control my future. And thanks to what we've done together, that future is brighter than it has been in a long time. Words can't do justice to how grateful I am for that. Well, I think it's safe to say you succeeded beyond anyone's wildest dreams. It's been an honor, Captain. Good luck out there. We are going to see you around the HQ, right? The TMD's not going real far without its founders. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. It's been an honor, Captain. I really appreciate you telling me the truth about... well, you know. I really appreciate you telling me the truth about... well, you know.
You didn't hear this from me, but those ecliptic mercenaries...
Well, at least I can say I knew you when. I've been tasked with ensuring the whole galaxy knows about the Terramorph threat. I believe this is your doing. Well done, Captain. Good luck on your endeavors. Just remember, Captain, the name of the game is discretion. Just remember, Captain, the name of the game is discretion.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. It's a high honor. Have to do something big for the colonies to earn that sort of designation. Only ever met a couple myself, and certainly never given one orders. You should be real proud. Luckily, I'm one step ahead of you. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Just out the front door and across the plaza, by the embassies. Look for the Aphelion sign. City life's not for everyone, I guess. But a lot of folks would kill for that kind of real estate. But, with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you? Of course. You've earned some R&R. Once you're rested up and ready to head out there again, you come see me. Had a question? Got a mission bringing some... That the sort of thing? Trouble. At least a couple of crafts worth from the sound of it. And we don't expect them to play nice. So you'd be weapons free on this mission. Any level of force required to deal with the threat. So, still interested? Not a problem. I'll keep the slate handy just in case. Captain, need someone to invest. You interested? All right, let's get you. Just getting those coordinates to you now. Report says ships at these coordinates fired on United Colonies craft. You're clear to use lethal force if necessary. Looks like it's for Realm Zealots this time. Go send them back to their maker. Good hunting, Captain.
I'm always ready to make a deal. Well, well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen. You've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion. What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner. Well, when you change your mind, your new home will be waiting for you. It's a buyer's market right now. Good. Oh, don't I wish. Between UC regulations and demand here in the city, I haven't had a chance to branch out yet. But you best believe I'm keeping an eye on the situation and actively lobbying for a little more leeway. Well, first of all, let's see what we... Right now, I've got a little place in the well that's up for grabs. Needs some work, and the location is less than ideal, but it's a foot in the door. So, of course, you can't forget that you have a... Sound like something... I'm surprised it took you... Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
Admiral Prince wants to know. Have answered a mystery that has plagued the settled systems for
We
over
should push
100
for more
years.
genetic diversity in our
What
crops.
are the Terramorphs?
I'd hate it if a single
Where
disease
do they
could wipe
come
them all
from?
out.
It turns out the
Good for
common
you.
ever-present pest, known as the heat leech, is actually the larval stage of the Terramorph. A plan is formed to use a natural predator of the Terramorphs and their larvae, a creature caught in a sea leaves to combat the threat.
Well, you know what they say.
Citizens are urged to immediately report any heat leech sighting to local officials to have the creatures removed. Given the stakes,
It's just
the plan
harder
is to
to
hunt
keep in
heat
touch these
leeches
days.
and
I
Terramorphs
haven't talked to
into
my old man
extinction,
in
and
forever.
to make Terramorph
Wonder what
attacks
he's
a
up to.
thing of the past.
Sometimes that's just how things are.
Definitely better than the last Interceptor.
But why did they replace the handler? I thought the actress was amazing.
She turned him down. She apparently signed on to do some Shakespeare film. King Lear, I think.
How many damned versions of Shakespeare do we need? I mean, after Kincaid's King Lear, why bother, right?
Huh? You have hidden depths, my friend.
Sometimes a classic is perfect. They should stop just pumping out a new take.
I find Shakespeare just hard to follow. Language is dense. Return of the Interceptor.
I'm going to watch it.
is
Return
going
of the
to
Interceptor.
Sidonia, isn't it? Okay. Okay, that's it. Time to sell some of your junk. Don't leave any of that behind. This will all lead. No, it's fine. I hope you got something. Let's see what you... Time to go? Since I'm glad to haul. Bye-bye.
System failure.
Don't leave any of that behind.
Superficial damage. Atom destroyed. Total system failure.
how all this gets automated. Until we realize what they're building. Oh, I certainly prefer control to this ridiculous heat. soullessness of war. Not exactly the surface of Mercury, but this certainly is hot.
Terminating threat.
This must be where they transfer stuff. All that junk you're hauling is seriously slowing you down. I'm hit! Show me what you got. Difference between being prepared and carrying too much. You know what? On second thought, I don't want to know. This appears to be the command center.
Self-destruct sequence activated. Warning, self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Please evacuate to a minimum safe distance. Warning, self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Please proceed to the nearest exit.
To drag around all that gear.
Warning, self-destruct sequence has been initiated. All personnel must evacuate. Warning, self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Exit immediately or risk fatal harm. self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Exit immediately or risk fatal harm.
Exterminating.
Warning, self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Exit immediately or risk fatal harm.
Artificial death.
Well, I suppose they're not going to need it anymore.
Self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Please evacuate to a minimum safe distance. Warning, self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Evacuation underway.
This must be what powers the ship.
Warning, self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Please proceed to the nearest exit.
Please tell me you're not going to make us run the Red Mile.
Just the thought of landing at the Red Mile was making me sick. Now that we're here, I'm
This place is messed up. What kind of two-bit security they have running this place anyway?
Need something for your ship? Hey. Who's asking? The starport master of Red Mile is who? Think that'd be obvious, given what I just asked you. Excuse me? I don't have time for this bullcrap. Truth is, I don't really give a damn. I gotta ask, because it's my job, you know? And don't get me wrong. I used to care about running a tight operation. Had everything going nice and smooth. But when May started building this place up and hired those mercs, everything went straight to hell. I voiced my displeasure, and now I'm on the outs. May's security. Bunch of wannabe soldier assholes is more like it. Call themselves Ecliptic. They think there's some sort of elite paramilitary unit. I'll tell you what they really are. They're nothing but punks with guns that get off on pushing people around. I get the need for having some security out here. We're independent. That ain't lost on me. But these guys are the worst of the worst. More trouble than they're worth, you know? And not by a little. Yep, she took over a little while ago. Drove out all the regulars because they didn't fit in with her new vision for the place. Now, I'm not saying they were saints, but at least there was some respect for the people whose blood and sweat makes this place work, you know? You'll find her inside. Whatever you're here for, she's probably the one you want to talk to first. All right, pal, I get it. But anyone ever tell you it's not a good idea to piss off your mechanic? Think about it before you pop off to me again. Anyway, I'm sure you're already sick of my bitching. If you need parts for that ship, or a top-up on the grab drive fuel, that's me. Yeah, we'll patch you. Yeah, you just... Yeah, sure. Yep. Bye.
You'll be talking to the underside of my boot if you keep trying to strike up a conversation.
Just 'cause you're successful. Here we go again.
Look alive! Best mistake you ever made!
destroyed hostile.
Warning, self-destruct sequence has been initiated. All personnel must evacuate. Warning, self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Exit immediately or risk fatal harm.
Opening fire.
self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Exit immediately or risk fatal harm.
Seen a lock picked that easily since I traveled with Vladimir's soul.
Evacuation underway. Warning. Self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Please evacuate to a minimum safe distance. Self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Please proceed to the nearest exit.
Systems.
Warning. Self-destruct sequence has been initiated. All personnel must evacuate. Warning. Self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Evacuation underway. Warning. Self-destruct sequence has been initiated. Please proceed to the nearest exit.
Good to see you. If there's anything I can do, certainly. How may the trade by all means.
Wonder where this will all lead.
Space. Please hold your current speed and heading while we scan you for contraband. You're good to go. Have a nice time in Aquila City.
Hey, no funny stuff with that boost pack. Got enough flight traffic.
Whoa, jeez! You must have gotten some... Maybe you're right. I guess it doesn't... Fine. Come on.
Out. Sure, Laredo. I'm sure I got one.
Take a look around. How about I just show...
Want to steer clear of the stretch.
I'm pleased you chose
Lots
to visit.
of
Here's what I
crime
have in
over
store.
there.
Do you have business with the Trade Authority? The Trade Authority looks... I'm sure something will catch your eye.
long time since... Yep, he... Bye-bye. Commander Ikonde runs a tight ship, so I suggest we be on our best behavior.
Welcome aboard the UC Vigilance. Did you have any questions before I escort you to the commander? Yeah, listen to him carefully. The commander's a one-and-done kind of officer. In other words, he hates to repeat himself. Other than that, just observe standard military decorum, and it should keep you from serving any time on the ship's cleaning detail. I'm not authorized to divulge information about this vessel. Suffice to say, it's one of the toughest ships in the UC's arsenal. All right. This way, please. So, you're the Vanguard that took down that terramorph on Tau City. You've made quite an impression around here. Everyone upstairs is talking about it.
Conde's on level 2.
That must have been one hell of a firefight. I almost regret missing out on all the fun.
It's like walking down the aisle. Nothing starts until you say the words. Just don't kiss the bride. Conde's on level 2. Try not to touch anything until he actually...
All right, Vanguard. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Ikonde should be waiting for you. Good luck. The Commander can handle any of your questions. If you have any questions, save them for Commander Ikonde. I'm not authorized to answer your questions. The Commander can handle any of your questions.
Howdy. We hunt piracy all across the galaxy. We hunt piracy all across the galaxy. Yes? Orders came down. New Science Division policy. Everyone on board's to look out for heat leeches. Consider yourself informed.
You can always come back and chat later. Nobody here's going.
Okay, hello. Howdy. Yes, what? Sys-Def Marines are the best of the best. Sys-Def Marines are the best of the best. Excuse me.
Yes?
Ah, there you are. Commander Kibwe Kande, UC Sys-Def. Glad to have you aboard. I was beginning to think you were having second thoughts about Commander Tuala's offer. UC Sys-Def is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle big picture stuff, we deal specifically with pirates. Since you're already involved with the Vanguard, I don't have to underline how important your contribution will be to the security of our spaceways. Yes, I know. I was intentionally vague when I advised Mast of my needs, but rest assured, I'll answer all your questions in due time. So, now that you're part of the team, allow me to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, Sys-Def's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. We are currently in the Sol system, in deep orbit around Phobos. As to why, I'll explain momentarily. Whether this ship is impressive or not, you're the key element that we've been lacking. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. Aurora is a Class A controlled substance that's illegal to transport outside of Neon, a city on Volai. Get caught with this stuff aboard a ship, and you're looking at some serious fines. That's classified. Suffice to say that the smuggler who was previously holding it will be spending the rest of their life in prison. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow. Well then, I suppose you'll just have to take your chances. In the meantime, I expect you to follow my orders, to the letter. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. Then you better learn to swim, because you're diving right into the deep end on this one. I've studied your profile. I know you can do this. I'm not about to throw away someone's life on a whim or a prayer. Just use your best judgment, trust your instincts, and watch your back. At this point, whether you like it or not, you're working for me. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one thing: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? To put it simply, you can't go into every situation with guns blazing. Think before you act. Calculate what you're doing and pull the trigger only when it's absolutely necessary. At the end of the day, your primary goal is taking down the Crimson Fleet. That's the greater good. Well, you better learn quick. Otherwise, I'll start looking for someone to take your place. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place. Then you do what you have to do. The Crimson Fleet has the potential to kill hundreds, even thousands of people per year. If it takes a few deaths to maintain your cover, then so be it. But only as an absolutely final resort. This is not a licensed killing spree. Understood? I'm not advocating violence. I'm merely urging you to weigh the consequences before you open fire. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this. So let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own. Good luck.